Scientists are stunned by children's lung recovery in the ultra-low emission zone. I actually greeted that news with anger for three reasons, which I will explain now. Number one, I'm really angry at the amount of hate that Sadiq Khan gets. The hate that he got when he introduced this, and the hate that he continues to get. I, for one, have no idea why our first Muslim mayor would get such an inordinate amount of hate online, but here we are. Interestingly enough, I actually once knew someone who worked for both Boris Johnson when he was London Mayor and Sadiq Khan when he was London Mayor, and he said that one of the two was a lot more dedicated to the job and a lot more detail orientated than the other. Can you guess who it was? Leave a comment saying who you think might have been the more effective politician. But I digress. My first point of anger, Sadiq Khan implemented a policy that would benefit everyone's health, especially children's, and the usual suspects lined up to pile on the hate. And when I say usual suspects, I mean people whose online profile pictures were either the cross of St. George, a picture of a footballer, or in some cases, an actual picture of themselves, teeth bared, hair slicked, ready for a night out where they make everybody's world slightly worse. Incidentally, these kinds of people who hate Sadiq Khan, our first Muslim mayor, I can't think why they hate him, but these people are exactly the kinds of people who also hate cyclists, and I'm not even sure why. If you can understand why this Venn diagram of hatred is almost a perfect circle of aggressive, pro-Cross of St. George, football-loving people who despise both Sadiq Khan and cyclists. If you can explain to me what links them all, I'll be genuinely interested. Please leave a comment. It makes me angry. Life is not fair. It is not fair that Sadiq Khan gets hate for doing the right thing, especially when Boris Johnson and his ilk get away with so much worse. But such is life. Life is not fair. We can but try. And no doubt all of Sadiq Khan's haters will be now busy doing mental gymnastics to find ways to hate him for doing something else. The second reason that this made me angry was because of the denial of truth. London has 9.1 million residents. There is not space for all of them to drive, and those that do choose to drive shouldn't be driving outdated, polluting cars that damage children's lungs. That statement should not be controversial. However, that's now the online discourse driven by reactionary right-wing morons who espouse, to quote Stuart Lee, controversial opinions for money. These people argue that not being able to drive cars that literally damage children's lungs is somehow an attack on their freedom by Sadiq Khan and the woke brigade, which is obviously both pathetic and crucially wrong. So this is my second point of anger. It's the denial of truth. Cars pollute cities. They create bad air quality and they occasionally kill people. We need less people driving. Not just because it's a more efficient use of space, but because it's healthier and safer. This is true. It's a fact. It's not an argument, but it's turned into an argument by morons. And my third point of anger is that ULEZ doesn't actually go far enough. This is in no way a criticism of Sadiq Khan. I think what he's achieved is fantastic. But it's a fact that this news should be causing a sea change of opinion. All the people who previously complained that Sadiq Khan was infringing on their rights or needlessly trying to tax drivers or just trying to raise money in some kind of dodgy scheme, all of these people should be holding their hands up in apology, which I don't think they will. They'll either not accept the scientific findings, which is a fashionable thing to do nowadays. That's the truth. You can just say the world is flat and start writing a blog. Incredible. What a time to be alive. So they'll either ignore the scientific findings, or they'll just find some other thing to hate Sadiq Khan about, or they'll just conveniently forget that they were ever against this. But either way, everyone should greet this news by looking at ways to radically reduce car use in London and in all cities, but I live in London, so we'll look at London for now. This isn't because I hate people who drive cars, by the way. I have a driver's license, which may shock you. Lots of cyclists do. But reducing car use is the healthiest, safest thing to do. I believe that in many years from now, we'll have far fewer cars in cities, and we'll look back at this time perplexed at how we ever survived with giant metal death machines roaring around while we were trying to have a coffee or walk to and from places, polluting the air and occasionally killing people. And I'd really like the day with fewer cars to arrive sooner. So that's my third point of anger. ULEZ should be massively increased, and it should be done rapidly. But I won't hold my breath. What do you think? Do you think ULEZ went far enough? Let me know in the comments below how you greeted the news, and thanks for watching.